Your goal is to use this as good debt, not bad debt, in order for you to make money. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's hard to imagine that it's been almost a year since I made my first video on Discover It Secure, and a lot's changed since then. So let's run down a little bit and see what's happened. So when I started the video, I had mentioned that I had a very bad credit score. When I went to go get my Kia Soul, I had a credit score of 453. 453. It's actually very embarrassing now that I mention it. But however, the good news is that I took this card and I made it work in my favor. I did not realize that starting my financial journey, how much of a difference and how much of an impact a credit card could make. So it jumped about 32 points when I first had it, and I noticed a steady incline as I was using it more. So one of the things that happened was I was using it to pay for other bills, and I was using it to pay for gas purchases, which got me 2% back and everything. But a couple of the reasons that I went with the card was, one, the customer service, and still almost a year later, I still say that's the number one reason why I went with the card. Hands down, the best customer service. And the cash back, and the fact that this card is just an amazing tool to have. But the reason I made this video was to talk about my transition, because a couple of you were asking me in the video that I made almost a year ago if I transitioned over. So that's what we're going to talk about. So what I did is I made sure that I paid my balance on time in full, and that I was not late, and I raised my credit limit. So after that that year transpired, I was able to go from a Discover It Secure card, and all they did on Discover's end was they sent me a letter, and I got my $200 back for my security deposit, which is a plus. And then they just took the same exact card and on the back end changed it to a regular non-secured credit card. And a lot of things that people don't understand is that when you have a secured card and you're trying to build your credit up, or it's your first credit card and you've never established any history whatsoever, you want to make on-time payments to not only get your deposit back, just like you would for rent, but you also want to make sure that you're thinking really long and hard about who you're going to have as your issuer. Because if I were to go with Joe Schmo secured card, and then I wanted to go with Discover down the road as a regular credit card, then technically I would be taking a hit on my credit score, because I'm closing an existing account and then opening up another issuer. So the beauty of this is that I just seamlessly transferred over as if nothing ever happened, but I got my deposit back and I had a credit limit that was from $200 to $750. Now what I'm going to do is, as I use that card more, I'm going to pay my bills on time, obviously, make sure I don't go over 30% of my usage, and I'm also going to see if they could raise my my limit. So now I'm at $1,000. So as I increase my credit score, which, by the way, I went from a 453 to a 670. Awesome. We're going to break that 700 limit here pretty soon. This was when I went to a different bank for my car, which I'll make in a different video. They were kind enough to give me a piece of paper, and it showed me, and this was in January, this showed me the current 2020 outlook and guidance with what they're looking for. So I thought I'd share that with you. So 10% is what's called a credit mix. 10% is also new credit. So, every year or two, are you going out and getting a new credit card? Are you borrowing money to, do an add-on on your home? 15% of your 100% credit score comes from credit length. So when I paid off my student loans, I was very happy. That was a burden lifted off my shoulders. But number two, what it did was, since I've never had one of these in a long time, my student loans was the longest credit history that I had. So I literally lost 30 points on my credit report. I took a ding on that. So keep that in mind. 30% is your capacity. 35%, the biggest portion of this, 35% is your payment history, okay? So again, how much you're using and are you paying it on time, okay? It is very important, if you, for whatever reason, if you have an issue in your life that you cannot make that payment, just call. Just call your bank, call your issuer and say, listen, X, Y, and Z happened. Can I please pay this, on X amount of date? Can we extend this? Whatever it takes. That is always going to be option number one. And option number two, just pay it when you can. The interest on a credit card is no joke. It's just as bad, if not worse, than student loans. It is very, very high. And depending on who you have, you're not so lucky. You could be paying as high as 24 or 25% or higher for interest. So your goal is to use this debt as leverage in a good way. You don't want to have to end up paying more down the road just because you couldn't make the payment. Once again, I want to say thank you guys so much. If this video was very helpful for you, hit the like buttons for the YouTube algorithm, and definitely follow me on YouTube for more. But remember, guys, this financial crisis that we had in 2008 could be upon us again. So you want to be ready, because remember, life is a game and you have to know how to play it in order to win. Thank you guys so much for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.